Hello, everybody. There's going to be a little recorded music to start off while people settle in and get comfortable. I hope you're here to visit me for my Sunday night live stream called Driving into Sunrise. And I'll be back with lots and lots of live music. Just meanwhile, get yourselves comfortable and feel free to chat with me if you drop in to visit me. Say hello and drop a comment or a request. If I know the song, I'll be happy to do it. I've got about an hour of really nice music for you. So we're going to start with something from the Central Park Chic's Honeysuckle Rose album that I was so happy to be a part of back in 1976. This is a tune called Wind in the Pines.
But yourself when you find you've been hiding inside your mind, feeling like you don't feel nothing at all, walking in a circle and talking to the wall. Up on the mountain, down in the hollow, wind in the pine, wind in the willow, crickets singing under my pillow, starlight shines, I'm bound to follow. You can't fool nobody but yourself when you say you're too lost to locate a way, or that the world is such and such, much too little or a little too much. Up on the mountain, down in the hollow, wind in the pine, wind in the willow, crickets singing under my pillow, starlight shines, I'm bound to follow. It's up to you to let yourself go. There really isn't all that much to know. You got to take what you need, there's just enough. You can feel it if you let yourself touch. Up on the mountain, down in the hollow, wind in the pine, wind in the willow, crickets singing under my pillow, starlight shines, I'm bound to follow. It's up to you to let yourself see that all this time you just had to be. There really isn't no one to blame at all. You can have a good time, you don't have to fall.
And that was the Central Park Chic's Honeysuckle Rose album. That was, I don't think I need these headphones anymore. I think my levels are good. Welcome to my live stream, Driving into Sunrise. Central Park Chic's were Bob Hipkins, Richard Lieberson, rest his soul in peace, Matt Glazer. At that time it was John Caruso playing the great bass playing you heard. And that was my song, Wind in the Pines, which eventually got covered by a Japanese band whose name I could not pronounce exactly correctly, but I thanked them when I found them online playing my song with the lyrics all scrambled up, which I guess was fun in its own kind of way. I'm going to kind of start with other people's songs just to get a little bit warmed up here. And if you're here to visit me, say hello, just to drop a little howdy on the comments section. And I'm going to start with, I noticed, looking at my list that I drew up today, all the songs seem to be about time. And I don't know what to make of that exactly. I guess it's a preoccupation of some sort. And so this first tune is a Cyndi Lauper tune that everybody knows and loves. And just put things where they need to be here in case I forget lyrics a little bit later. Josephine, can you hear the guitar okay? Hi, Sam Bryan. So nice to see you. Great. Cyndi Lauper, Time After Time. Laying in bed I hear the clock tick and I think of you, caught up in circles. Confusion is nothing new. Flashbacks, warm nights, almost left behind. The second hand unwinds. If you're lost and you look, then you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I'll be waiting. Time after time. Sometimes you picture me and I'm walking so far ahead, and you're calling out to me, and I can't hear what you've just said. Flashbacks, warm nights, almost left behind. The second hand unwinds. If you're lost and you look, then you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I'll be waiting. Time after time. After my picture fades and this darkness turns into gray, you'll be watching through windows, wondering if I'm okay. Secrets stolen from deep inside. The drum beats out of time. If you're lost and you look, then you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I'll be waiting. Time after time. If you're lost and you look, then you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you, and I will be waiting. Time after time after time after time after time after time. There you go, Time After Time. Hope you enjoyed that. It's a Cyndi Lauper tune, and going to do a song from the heyday of the West Village. This tune was written by Jerry Merrick and was very, very popular. Everybody under the sun on McDougal Street used to play this song all the time, and for the very good reason that it's extraordinarily lovely tune. Give me just 1 second while I get my lyrics up so that I don't mess them up, because it's a slightly longish tune and I haven't done a lot of it in recent years. In any event, here it is. This tune is called Follow. Most people know it from the Richie Havens version, and this is my version. I love Richie Havens. Oh my goodness, what a fine, fine human being. Let the river rock you like a cradle. Climb to the treetops, child, if you are able. Let your hands tie a knot across the table. Come and touch the things you cannot feel. And close your fingertips and fly where I can't hold you. Let the sun rain fall, let the dewy clouds enfold you. Maybe you can sing to me the words that I just told you. If all the things you touch ain't what they seem. And don't mind me, 'cause I ain't nothing but a dream. The mockingbird sings each different song. Each song has wings and won't stay long. Do those who hear him think he's doing wrong? While the church bell tolls its one-note song, hear the school bells tinkling to the throng. Come here where your ears cannot hear, and close your eyes, child, and listen while I tell you. Follow in your darkest nights whatever might impel you. The song that I am singing may disturb or serve to quell you. If all the sounds you hear ain't what they seem, then don't mind me, 'cause I ain't nothing but a dream. The rising smell of fresh cut grass, choking cities, choking yelling, fuming gas. I hold some grapes up to the sun, their flavor breaks upon my tongue. With eager tongues we taste our strife and fill our lungs with seeds of life. Come and smell and taste the waters of our time, and close your lips, child, that softly I might kiss you. Let your flower perfume out and let the winds caress you. As I walk through the garden, I am hoping I won't miss you, if all the things you taste ain't what they seem. And don't mind me, 'cause I ain't nothing but a dream. The sun and the moon, they both are right. We'll see them soon in days of night. But now silver leaves on mirrors bring delight, and the colors of your eyes are fiery bright, while the darkness blinds the sky with all its light. Come and see where your eyes cannot see, and close your eyes, child, and look at what I'll show you. Let your mind go reeling out and let the breezes blow you. Then maybe when we meet again, then suddenly I'll know you, if all the things you see ain't what they seem. Then don't mind me, 'cause I ain't nothing but a dream. And you can follow, and you can follow, and you can follow, and you can follow. There you go. One of the most beautiful songs from the 1960s, in my humble opinion. Give me just 1 second, friends. The rest of these tunes will be either original or traditional, and this first tune is a very recent tune. I actually, in truth, wrote the first part of this tune about 3 or 4 years ago, but I had no idea what the song was about. But then all of this bullpucky that we have to live through right now, the Orange Julius Caesar and the disease that's the realest hoax in the world, and all of that started happening. And it kind of made me think about the nature of day-to-day life and time. Like I say, many of the songs on my list here seem to have something to do with time. So this song is called Nothing Ever Happens on a Thursday. The days and weeks go slipping by. All the things we put off pile up. All the things we choose to do some other day, they can wait for Thursday. I had some chores to run today, household shopping bills to pay, wash the dishes, clear the shelves. Misery best kept to ourselves on Thursday. Buy some toothpaste, soap and bread, all the ordinary life we've led. Make a list and get it done before it slips away, my son, on Thursday. Then the clouds, they opened over me. and the crowd it parted like the sea, sent me down an unfamiliar path. Seeing you I simply had to laugh. Never thought I would find my way. Never thought I would find my way. Never thought I would find my way on Thursday. I had some calls to make today, obligations, bills to pay, clear the record, make amends, try to make it all make sense on Thursday. Expectations, hopes, and dreads, where the worries in our life have led. Take a risk and change your ways before your chances slip away on Thursday. Then the clouds, they opened over me, and the crowd, it parted like the sea, sent me down an unfamiliar path. Seeing you I simply had to laugh. Never thought I would find my way. Never thought I would find my way. Never thought I would find my way on Thursday. There you go. Nothing ever happens on Thursday. Let me take a look over here at who my guests are tonight. Harvey Bojarski, howdy, back to you. Kip Osborne, what a pleasure to see you in the mix here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, friends. Thanks for visiting with me. I do these twice a week. This is my Sunday evening show, which will appeal to those people such as Kip, who are, I think, currently located on the West Coast, so this is not untimely for you. My Saturday shows are at 3. My Sunday shows are at 7, and I do so appreciate people that give me somebody to play for and something to do to try out new and old songs and just keep myself in shape here in this world of COVIDity. This is a tune that goes back to about the turn of this century. I cannot report any tunes that I wrote that go back to the turn of the other century. But this particular tune was first recorded on an album called The Big Wide Album. And the reason it was on that album was that I had just spent about 7 or 8 years basically just writing songs for keyboard, MIDI keyboard, computer, because for a few of those years my wrists and hands were injured and I didn't play much guitar. So all of these songs from this particular album and a couple of before that were written for full studio synthesizers and stuff. They were very different than my other songs, and I've only recently adapted them to the kind of acoustic treatment that people associate with me. This tune is called The Sad Spanish Man and the Beautiful Indian Girl. Well, I've just come down to tell you about some music that I've heard. It's the band that plays on weekends down at Eddie's Crossroads Bar. They live out behind the diner in a bus that's up on blocks. If they ever get it rolling, I believe that they'll go far. And their leader's Alexander with his double neck guitar, who comes from Spain by way of San Francisco. And his girlfriend is Elena from the hills of Bogota. When he met her, she was dancing in a disco. And the name of the band is The Sad Spanish Man and the Beautiful Indian Girl. Well, their drummer is Matsui. He's a Japanese Hawaiian. He grew up playing country blues in Memphis, Tennessee. Now he drops his one right on the bar and then he kicks the 2 and 4. And sometimes you can find him with a banjo on his knee. And there's Jazzy Jan from Amsterdam, who fills in all the leads on the saxophone, sitar, and balalaika. And Brooklyn when Bob's the sound man. He's the master of the mix. He could put a shine on 1956 Formica. And now these are the pieces that make up their sound and the people that make up their world. The name of the band is the sad Spanish man and the beautiful Indian girl. Now Eddie tries to manage them, but he doesn't have a clue about the market niche where he should try to sell them. Or when the business people ask him about the bag they occupy, he doesn't have a notion what to tell them. There's a taste of gypsy zydeco and a hint of western swing, some polka blues and psychedelic soul. Throw in some mariachi and Eleka folky funk, and your mama and your papa's rock and roll. It's a crazy quilt pattern, kaleidoscope, rainbow design on the flag they unfurl. The name of the band is the sad Spanish man and the beautiful Indian girl. They've got lyrics like the Beatles, they've got lyrics like the Dead. They've got lyrics like the Kingsmen where you're not sure what they said. Oh, but when they start to harmonize, all the angels shut their mouth. It's all about the unity of Northeast, West, and South. Now these are the pieces that make up their sound and the people that make up their world. The name of the band is the sad Spanish man and the beautiful Indian girl. These are the pieces that make up their sound and the people that make up their world. The name of the band is the sad Spanish man and the beautiful Indian girl. A song about multiculturalism, a popular topic in American culture these days. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for being here. What a pleasure it is. I've prepared a nice long set, so I'll go until, 8 o'clock or a little bit after. I usually have some latecomers showing up, and it's always good to just toss a couple of extra tunes in at the end for the sake of the folks that just got there. So, make some more popcorn. The biggest favor you can do for me, or indeed for anyone that does this kind of work, first off, is, this is all very true down here. Some of you are people that have in the past tipped me, and I don't expect you to keep on doing it. But what you can do, if you're one of those wonderful people, is tell other people how good you think my songs are and how much they might enjoy my show. And if they come, they'll be people that add to it all. Also, if you're here and you have a moment, look down at the bottom of the screen there. I think it's on that side of your screen. I could be wrong. There's a button that says, what is the word I'm looking for? Subscribe. Thank you so much, aging memory. Subscribe. If you subscribe, the more subscribers I have, the more likely that YouTube will eventually help me monetize the site. It's just a few cents with each click, but it does add up. There are people who just play a ukulele and do a very bad cover of a Dire Straits song who have 20,000 followers. So you can make sure that this very talented songwriter has a chance at that kind of big bucks. I'm going to do another tune from that period of time. And once again, this is a song about time. How peculiar that I had so many songs about time. You'd almost think I was preoccupied or something at this moment. This tune is called Little Finnegan. And it's about the 10-year-old boy who turns into a 50-year-old man and has a 40 years worth of dreams in between. You're a bus driver bound from the lights of the city through the quiet of little towns lost in the night. Exits and off-ramps and neon-lit diners and the bright eyes of rabbits like stars on the roadside. The radio reminds you of all that's behind you. Your poor eyes are dazzled by the oncoming lights. The white line goes through you, and you don't know now, do you, why the good folks won't turn down their brights. Through the long night the dark traffic sighs. What color are the bus driver's eyes? Puzzles and riddles and cats that play fiddles, and children that change in the rays of the moon. The little dog laughed just to see such a sight, and the dish ran away with the media tycoon. Are we almost there yet? And why is the rain wet? And who spilled the stars on the velvety deeps? Digressions and questions and liars' confessions. Little Finnegan can't get to sleep. So many what ifs and whys. What do you see when you shut down your eyes? There once was a maiden who escaped from her tower by cutting off all of her beautiful hair, and weaving a ladder she climbed from the bower, and ran off and left not a note on a chair. There was an old farmer who traded his best cow for a hand-scribbled map and an old rusty key. The little dog wept just to hear such a tale, and the tears that he offered would fill up the sea. Through the long night the dark traffic rolls, and the night driver ferries our souls. Are we almost there yet? And why is the rain wet? And who spilled the stars on the velvety deeps? Look up out your window, watch the moon follow. Little Finnegan can't get to sleep. So be a good fellow and waltz with the widow. Little Finnegan can't get to sleep. It's a peculiar song indeed. I hope you enjoyed it. It's my attempt at dream poetry there, because most of those lyrics were written while I was sound asleep, and I woke up and I wrote them down, and they were a hash then, and I tried to make them fit together. But I knew what the song was about, and I still do, and I hope you enjoyed it. Little Finnegan. Okay, here's yet another song about time. What a nutty lineup. This is more in the jazz lineup of things. I first had my experience playing jazzy type music with a band called the Central Park Sheiks. If you've been here from the beginning of the show, you'll know that the first thing I opened was the Central Park Sheiks playing a country tune called Wind in the Pines. But the Sheiks played country music and western music and music and folk music and jazz music, and our main thrust was cowboy jazz, western swing. Never did write a bossa nova while I was with them. This is a bossa nova that I wrote just about a year and a half ago. The past is lost, the future is never. Oh, but now is forever. And all of those golden moments that were your treasure have fallen away like dreams. Now is forever. The wheels of days and years are constantly spinning. The ending was written before the very beginning. The past is lost, the future is never. Oh, but now is forever. The wheels of days and years are constantly spinning. The ending was written before the very beginning. The past is lost, the future is never. Oh, but now is forever. A little fumble-fingered stuff going on in there, but I did my level best to keep it together. Now is forever. Love to play that with a Dumbeck player. Would be just perfect for that. Okay, let's jump out of the Bert Lee mode and do. You know who writes about time and changing seasons all the time? I mean, I think every other song, to tell you the truth, of this wonderful lady's repertoire has to do with that. I recently started doing this song, and I wasn't quite sure why I was doing it. Turned out there was a deep internal reason that I was doing this song. I awoke today and found frost perched on the town. It hovered in the frozen sky and gobbled summer down. When the sun turned traitor cold and all the trees stand shivering in a naked row, I get the urge for going, but I never seem to go. Yes, I get the urge for going when the meadow grass is turning brown. Summertime is falling down and winter's closing in. I had a girl in summertime with summer-colored skin, and not another man in town my darling's heart could win. Oh, when the leaves fell from the trees and the bully winds came round to push them face down in the ground, they get the urge for going. Guess she's got to go. Yes, she gets the urge for going when the meadow grass is turning brown and the summertime is falling down and winter's closing in. The warriors of winter give a cold, triumphant shout, and all that stays is dying, and all that lives is getting out. See the geese in chevron flight, flapping and racing on before the snow. They get the urge for going, and they've got the wings to go. Oh, they get the urge for going when the meadow grass is turning brown and summertime is falling down and winter's closing in. I'll ply the fire with kindling, pull the blankets up to my chin. I'll lock the howling winter out and bolt my ramblings in. I'd like to call back summertime and have her stay around another month or so, but she's got the urge for going, and I guess she'll have to go. Yes, she's got the urge for going when the meadow grass is turning brown and all her empires are falling down and winter's closing in. got the urge for going when the meadow grass is turning brown and summertime is falling down and winter's closing in. Joni Mitchell. Oh, I'll have to practice Desafinado for you, darling. I haven't played that in a while, and that has just a ton of changes. I'll get you on the next pass round with that. Thank you. Okay, I'm having a great old time here, and I hope you are too. I'm going to jump back to some of those songs that were written around the turn of the century. This particular song was written for an album called The Girl in the Golden Atom. In fact, I'll probably be re-recording this. I have an album project I'm working on right now. Back in the 90s, when I was but 6 or 7 years old, I had the great privilege of working with this wonderful engineer, producer, and musician named Dan Simpson in Key West, a place called Private Ear Studios. And he took a little project of mine, a thing called Living in the Stream, which was my first foray into electronic music in a serious way. And I created an electronic rock and roll rock opera about the plight of manatees and other species that were being driven out of their habitats by human behavior. And the little project blossomed, and as my co-producer and engineer, he made the damn thing sound like gold. I'm happy to report that he is working on my next album with me. The album will be called Swimming in Falling Water. It will contain a bunch of new songs and a few old songs being revisited and vastly improved. And I'm thinking of putting this particular song in the mix. Song written right after 9/11. I get the feeling for this tune. That's the feeling. Monsters are all very scary. Monsters are easy to fake. When people are cruel to each other, it's really much harder to take. And the things we allow to control us should be subject to careful review. You've got monsters inside, monsters inside, monsters inside you. Children look up from the games you play to the life that they want you to live. They'll never explain all the rules to you or how much they expect you to give. And the things you'll do just to get by, they all come as a wonder to you. There's a stranger inside me, like the stranger inside you. Don't be afraid, don't be surprised. See the stranger in your eyes. Don't you worry what to do. It's only life, it's only you. How many times did you wake up just to find you were still in the dream? And the moments of light, the feelings of love flow by like a silvery stream. And the person you see in the mirror should be someone you're happy to be. There's angels inside you, angels inside me. Don't be afraid, don't be surprised. See the angels in your eyes. Don't be frightened if you should fall. It's only love, and love is all. Don't be afraid, don't be surprised. See the angels in your eyes. Don't be frightened if you should fall. It's only love, and love is all. Monsters. Okay, here's a very different kind of tune. We're coming up on 7:40. Now, give me 1 second while I check on something. Checking on the temperature of my computer, and it does not have a fever. I'm so happy. When I was trying to do these live streams in the heat of summer, my computer would redline and I'd have to cut it short, but you get a full hour or so of music, and I'm happy to have you here with me. I'd like to just take a moment for a little personal stuff here. As I mentioned a moment ago, your tips are greatly appreciated. As much as they are appreciated, I appreciate if you just to follow my music on Bandcamp. You go to Bandcamp, look up Bert Lee, bandcampbertlee.com, and you'll see 2 albums and an occasional extra song thrown in as an individual tune. The 2 albums are Salt for Silver, which is my most recent album, which is largely sort of folk and acoustic influenced, but it does have some extra instrumentation on it, but pretty acoustic in its general vibe, and has some really good brand new songs written while I was the host of Cafe Vivaldi and Cowgirl. Very proud of that album. Then there's another album which contains a lot of these tunes that go back to the turn of the century, such as Monsters that you heard, Sad Spanish Man, and that album is called The Pop Cycle, because some of those songs sort of fall into the category of pop music. And there's 8 tunes on each of those 2 albums. You can just listen to the tunes there, and if you want a high-quality version of it, you can download it for a nominal fee, and I appreciate that kind of support. You'll also find it, this time around, you'll find, I think, I'm not sure what the extra tune is. It's either Evelyn, which is a retake of an old song I wrote in the 70s, or Soon Your Tears Be Over, which is a look forward to the album that I'll be releasing in the not terribly distant future. So anyway, that's that. Also, if you like how I write, and I hope you do, I really am a dedicated writer, not just songs, but novels. And if you go to Amazon, you will find these 2. It's so hard to judge things. Dead Man's Code, The Spindrift Factor, 2 books of family history, which I've been told are very well written. In fact, I have one of my proofreaders listening in tonight, and God bless him for doing that hard work for me. Those can be found at Amazon in paperback format or ebook format. And if you're a listener to this and you would just like to see what my prose writing is like, I will give you an ebook of The White Gallery, a collection of short stories which I think are very amusing and entertaining, and you get a taste for my writing and maybe move on to the novels from there. So that's a little personal kind of thing. Okay, this is a tune dedicated to my beautiful wife, without whom I could not function properly. That is just a fact. A gust of wind has come to call, that turns a summer's day to fall, sends hats and papers tumbling down the lane. The pigeons that parade the square all leap as one into the air, taking shelter in the eaves against the rain. The songbirds quit their flight and hush their song, waiting for the rain, it won't be long. For reasons only feelings can explain, you can always tell when it's about to rain. The children have all run inside, the lovers in the park decide they won't be bothered by a drop or 2. Slowly strolling, lost in love, they take no heed of clouds above. It's just a little rain, don't be blue. Just a little rain, you know it's true. It won't last forever, darling, don't be blue. For reasons only feelings can explain. You can always tell when it's about to rain. And I may not know all the reasons why, but I can always tell when you're about to cry. I see you at the window now. I can feel you wonder how the wind has blown so many things away. And if it helps to ease the pain, we'll go out walking in the rain, remembering another sweeter day. When we were young and love was new, it's just a little rain, don't be blue. Blue is just a feeling, let it come and let it go. I know it hurts a little, darling, let it go. Why is just a question with no answer, maybe so. Don't let it bother, darling. It's about to rain. Thanks for sticking around. If you are sticking around, if you got a request, any of you delightful people, if it's something I haven't practiced, I will do it for you. And just like I will with my wife's request of Desi Finaudo, you can expect Desi Finaudo, a complicated bossa nova that I love to play, but I'm way out of practice on. You can expect it at the next pass around on Saturday afternoon or Sunday evening. Alrighty. This is while we're staying in that sort of jazzier tune. I guess that was like a show tune kind of tune. People say, why do you write so many different kinds of tunes? Why don't you stick to one thing? What's wrong with you? And my feeling is, since I'm not famous, not likely to get famous anytime soon, I might as well keep writing whatever the hell I want to. And then if somebody makes me famous, then I'll copy that song until I puke. I probably won't. I believe never repeat yourself unless it's an improvement. There's not another song in my repertoire like this. Now the time can go so slowly in a barroom late at night, where the people move like ghosts through the smoky candlelight. And the band is playing something that's got distance, man, they're cool. In the shadows of the back room, some old boys are playing pool. And this blue light music's got me sinking into deep amnesia. Now I get the funniest feeling, it must be deja vu. I'll tell you something, brother, just one time through'll do. And it all comes back so clearly when I only stop to think. And on that note, I think I'll go and have myself another drink. And this blue light music's got me sinking into deep amnesia. There's a joke I'd like to tell you, but they say my timing's off, And before I hit the punchline, I always take a drag and call. And that's just another nasty habit that I really ought to break. Oh, but if I don't, you know that won't be my first mistake. Now the bartender calls me buddy, and the waitress calls me hun. And the only song I request all night is Mother Nature's Son. Oh, but the band, they just can't swing to that, so they play some miles instead. And these crazy syncopations are all just fucking with my head. And this blue light music's got me sinking into deep amnesia. Well, it's getting close to closing time, and the bouncer starts to loom, and the manager is turning out all the lights around the room, and the chairs are on the table, and the band is getting paid, and I leave here trying to hang on to those memories they played. And this blue light music's got me sinking into deep amnesia. This blue light music's got me sinking into deep amnesia. Amnesia. Alrighty. This is a... Thank you for sticking around. I don't know who's still with me. If you're still with me, say hello or something. I'm going forward. I know my wife is with me in the other room. I know it's hard to listen to a person for too long. But if you're still here, you know, it encourages me for you to say hi. Just a hello. Just a little hello is a nice thing for you to do. This is a tune I just finished the recording of, once again, with great thanks to my friend Dan Simpson, turning this into an epic-sounding song. In, once again, a different vein than I usually write, so there you go with all of that stuff. Hey, hi guys. I'm glad you're still here. There's a really nice recording of this. I'm putting it up on Bandcamp in the next day or two because we just finished mixing it and it's just great. After all this time, do I have to tell you I'm not guilty of the crimes you accuse me of? What do I have to do to win back your love? If I had to do it all again, would I even be just one whit wiser? Oh, probably not. You have to live with what you've got. My hands are empty now, and I'm really not too sure just how we'll ever make amends. Is this the way our story ends? Lovers once, now barely friends. If you ask me why, I guess I'd have to try some awkward alibi you disabuse me of. What do I have to do to win back your love? My eyes are open wide, and still I cannot see inside your guarded space. If you won't turn to face me, if I had to do it all again, would I even be just one whit wiser? Oh, probably not. What do I have to do to win back your love? Oh, why did I have to go and put myself above you? Darling, what do I have to do to win back your love? Why did I have to go and put myself above you, darling? Oh, thank you so much, Lenny. It's so nice. And oh, your whole family is with you there, Kip. How sweet! It's so great to have a live audience, and you guys. You're all people I've played for in the past, and it makes me happy to know that you get to hear me singing tonight, because I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Going to do exactly 3 more songs, and then we're calling it a night. These first 2 that I'm doing relate to the novels that I spoke to you about just a few minutes ago. I, over the years, tried to write prose for many years, and for a while I was actually a published journalist. I could write journalistic kind of prose. I had a couple of not very good science fiction stories published in the 70s, and not proud of any of that. And I tried to write a novel or 2, and they were just rank, disgustingly bad. And I stopped doing it for a while. But then about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago now, time does slip right on by, I started writing my family history, and I guess that was what I should have been doing all along. And I wrote Dead Man's Coat, my grandfather's story, and Spindrift Factor, my father and mother's story, and the beginning of my family. These books, as I say, are available from Amazon, and I'm very proud of them. I sometimes would be writing the prose, and I couldn't get much further along in the process. And so sometimes when I was trying to write prose, I would pick up the guitar and write a song that related to what I was trying to write about. Now, my Dead Man's Coat is about my grandfather, both of my grandfathers, my patrilineal and my matrilineal grandfather. So this song is called The Cowboy from Boston, and in it I have taken details from both of their lives and mixed them together in the same way that both of their DNAs got mixed together in the long term to create me. So this is The Cowboy from Boston. This was the very first song I wrote as I was beginning the long process of creating these novels. Now he played an old fiddle made over in Europe, recited to poets and quoted the bards, rode out of the East on a sway-apaloosa. The cowboy from Boston with a sleeve full of cards, with a hey-diddle-ho riding high in the saddle, a pearl-handled pistol and a master's degree, come 3,000 miles from the streets of Seattle to wet his fine whistle on some fresh Chinese tea. Kinda East Coast goes west to meet Far East, you see. Well, a good man or bad depends on just who was talking. He bluffed like a champion or he lied like a snake. The ladies all swooned when he twirled his mustaches, and they snuck out the back door to bring him some cake. With a hey-diddle-ho riding over the prairie, fancy pants holster, real silver spurs. The music he fiddled was so fine and airy. Looking up at the sky, he could name all the stars. Hell, he knew all his history and the generals and wars. Now he rode down the coast to the West Texas border, to the Mexican desert where the summer was fierce. He got all caught up in the good revolution. He fought at the side of an old man named Bierce. With a Viva Zapata he gave a loud holler, his gentleman's clothing all splattered with mud. He shot like a bandit, but he talked like a scholar, the cowboy from Boston, all hell-bent for blood. Just a cowboy from Boston won't come to no good. Not too far from Houston, he dropped a stray bullet. The last words he said lifted right off the page. It was something he'd learned from the poet of Avon, how all men are players and life is a stage. With a viva la vida, that was how fate had planned it. There's no one can say once that hand rolls the bones. He talked like a scholar, but he shot like a bandit, the cowboy from Boston laying under some stones. Just a cowboy from Boston come a long way from home. Just a cowboy from Boston come a long way from home. There you go, Grandfather Timothy O'Keefe, who would change his name to William E. Lee because of a crime he committed. And Grandfather Joseph Epstein, or Abraham Epstein, we will never know, who changed his name because of other reasons. So I descend from two name changers, it appears. I've often thought of going back to Timothy O'Keefe, just because he had such an interesting life. Yes, he did. Okay, this is another song written during the course of the writing of these books. I left my shoes in Dublin, and I borrowed a dead man's coat. I left it all behind me, and I stowed on to a boat. I left it all behind me to be swallowed up by time. If they ever come and find me, may they pardon me my crime. They say I killed my father, but I only stole his name. He was murdered by a bottle, but I'll gladly share the blame. Murdered by a bottle, and maybe death has set him free. Now if I could only lose his ghost that's stowed away in me. His ghost is in my mirror, his ghost is in my mind. It's living underneath my skin, and it won't be left behind. I tried my best to kill it, but the damn thing never dies. It stands so hard above me, with whiskey in its eye. Here is my confession, for whatever it is worth. I'm haunted by my father, just like every man on earth. Haunted by my father, like every ordinary Jake. He stands so dark above me, like a storm about to break. I'm sailing to America, find what might be found. I'll throw these memories overboard, and I'll pray that they stay drowned. I'll throw this baggage overboard, to be swallowed by the sea. Now if I could only lose his ghost that's stowed away in me. I left my shoes in Dublin, and I borrowed a dead man's coat. I left it all behind me, and I stowed onto a boat. I left it all behind me to be swallowed up by time. And if they ever come and find me, may they pardon me my crime. There you go, the Dead Man's Coat. I have one last song for you that I do hope you will enjoy. If I could only find... there it is. I'm going to sing this song. I know that this is a song that the Osborne family liked in particular, and I want to thank them for visiting me. I know they're out on the West Coast where things have been even stranger than the East Coast here. And I wish them all the peace and joy in the world. And so much thanks for being here with me tonight. Thank you for all being here with me tonight. This last song is a love song, because that's what we need plenty of in this world. And I hope you enjoy it. It's called New Again, and it's once again dedicated to my beautiful wife. Morning comes to touch the sky and to wake the sleeping world, to hang the dew upon the blades of grass like strings of pearls. I rise up from my sleep to find you laying by my side, clinging to your last of dreams and breathing like the tide. I won't wake you, I'll just wait and hold you in my eyes, peaceful as a ship of clouds that sails the crystal skies. I'll go and put the kettle on just to make our morning brew. If you were the first to rise, I know that's what you do. If there's ever been a sweeter day, I swear I don't know when, since you came into my life, it's all been new again. All those years I spent alone, just watching time slip by, filling up with emptiness and taking love to be a lie, filling pages up with words just to make my broken song, never knowing you were somewhere waiting all along. If there's never been a sweeter day, my lover and my friend, since you chose to take this road, it's all been new Morning comes to touch the hills and to wake the sleeping rose, throwing diamonds on the river so it flashes as it flows. This world is lovely, it can't be denied, you know that's true. Twice as lovely with two pairs of eyes to see it through. If there's ever been a sweeter day, I swear I don't know when. Since you came into my life, it's all been new again. And with that, I do wish you all a lovely, lovely evening. As Richie Havens would say at the end of every concert, to you. And thank you so much. Please come back and visit me again. I'll try to throw new songs into the mix as often as I can. I will respect any requests you make, and wish you all the very best. If you're with family, love them as you have always loved them. If you're by yourself, love yourself. That's okay. And we'll all get through this thing. Good night, everybody.